Hi everyone, I'm Wesley from Unaufadox Productions and welcome to episode 19 of Creating Bass Loops Live, the live stream where I create amazing, wonderful bass guitar bass guitar loops for all you wonderful music producers out there. So in this video, I'm going to address a video that I posted to my social media on Monday about AI and music production. Then I'm going to work on this track that you can see on the screen. And I'm going to compose a bass guitar loop, which is going to be around 250 bars long. Then I will record that live, and then you will see me upload it to my site, after which you'll be able to download it immediately using the QR code beneath this video. So let's get into the video. So on Monday, I posted a video to my various social media platforms on Unaufadox Productions, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And it was expanding on a video I posted before about Suno creating a DAW. So Suno Studio has a digital audio workstation, much like this Logic that you see on the screen, and it allows you to do various things like create stems and provide MIDI and give you inspiration. Like it can get you from silence to an idea very quickly, just a prompt, like just write a sentence and it will get you going quickly. But I just feel like that going from silence to sound, like that's one of the best moments, like when you're sitting there and you've got nothing, and then maybe you have like really something really simple, like, and that's it, that's what you've got, and then something else comes, and then you record that, and then that becomes your basis, and then you get going. Like this is everything for me as a music producer. This is everything. Sometimes it might not come straight away, but when it does, and you feel it come through you, and then you begin to build on that, it's the best. It's as you begin to develop and build upon that, it's intoxicating. Like many times, so I've gone from silence to a production, and then it's not finished, it's not mixed or anything, but let's say it's taken all day or like a few days, and at the end of the day, when I've got something, 8 bars or let's say I have intro, verse, chorus, verse. At the end of the day, I would loop that, and I could just sit there and loop it over and over and over again. It's intoxicating hearing your ideas, like your developed creativity. It's intoxicating hearing that over and over again, knowing that the inspiration came through you, and you can hear your preferences within it, like your character, if you like. If you're into rap music, and a producer called Timbaland or Dr. Dre or Pharrell Williams, like each of those has a distinctive style, like their character is within it. And you hear a Pharrell track and you can sense it. You can definitely feel it with a Timbaland track, and that for me, like that identity, when you see that in reality and it comes through your ears, it's like you get more confidence from that, and it's even hard to articulate. It's hard to put into words, like the good feeling that comes with that. And I just feel if you start from a generative AI concept, then you might miss a little bit of that. I mean, yeah, you're going to edit it after and develop it, but I just feel it's a bit missing. Like, for example, I have a piece of software called Scalar, and in Scalar is a bunch of chords. So it gives you standard chords, so like a triad. So if you don't know what a triad is, a triad is it's like the most fundamental building blocks of a chord. So it will give you those, but you can find those on the internet, like they're easily found. So it's nothing really creative as such. But they also have artists chords, and plenty of them. And I never really like. Oh, that's my delay. I never felt like starting a track from them. Like that I would say is my track, because it just felt like it's not my beginning. You know what I mean? Like there's one on there from MJ Cole, and great chords, like really great, and you can hear that it's MJ Cole. Like there's a track by MJ Cole called Sincere, and if you go to this scaler, you can hear his character in these chords, and that's MJ Cole. And I bet when he sits and listens to his stuff, he can hear himself in it, and I bet he's filled with joy. And I just feel like it's deeply satisfying. It's also deeply satisfying to solve problems. So like going from silence to sound, you might perceive that as, it's an instant problem. Like, what's the problem? I don't have any sound. I have no beats going. I've got no drums going. I haven't got a snare idea. Nothing. No hi-hat, no synths, no chords, no nothing. Like that could be considered a problem, right? But then over time, the inspiration begins to trickle in, and then more comes, and you solve each problem. So it's like the first problem, I have no kick, snare, hi-hat, rhythm going, and then you get that. It's like, right, amazing, great, really feeling this. Then right, I need some chords, and then you get some chords. Let's say you just use a piano just as a temporary instrument, and then you have that, and it's like, right, great, fantastic. And then right now I need to build upon this. I want some other kind of percussion, and then it just builds and builds and builds. And this, I said this in Monday's video. This problem solution, that is music production. I would say it's more music production than a hit or fame or views or plays or follows or, I don't know, invitations to the Grammys or something like that. I would say the solving problems is way more within the role of music producer than all of these other. I mean, yeah, okay, so the Grammys is an evening, and then that's cool. But then let's say it was Saturday evening, then Sunday you chill maybe. Monday you're back to music production. You're back to looking for sounds. You're back to refining sounds. You're back to exploring sounds. Like maybe so you got a studio, or maybe not. Maybe we've got an iPhone and like a pair of scissors, and you hit different items and then put that into your software and pitch it up, pitch it down for interesting sounds. It's more than, so what point am I ultimately trying to make? Music production is more than maybe the external view of it. For me, music production is sitting looking for sounds, going through presets, tweaking presets, making sounds from scratch, going around my house with a microphone and hitting things and recording and bringing that into Logic Sampler and pitching it up, pitching it down, messing with sample rates. That's really music production. And also, 7 years ago I picked up the bass. So now music production for me is practicing bass a couple of hours a day and learning more theory and learning how to play songs. And when I say learning how to play songs, I don't just mean verbatim. I don't just mean learning each note, not even necessarily knowing which note, but just the pattern across the board. Because when I first got into learning bass, that was the advice that I got, and I took it literal. I didn't get the caveat that which I just gave, like the sub-paragraph. I just did it literally, and it didn't. I mean, moving around the fretboard like that was cool, more sort of facility, but I didn't study it. But I needed to study it. That's the part I didn't get, or I wasn't told. It's only later that I began to do that. And yeah, now I managed to incorporate that into my understanding, like how things are built and why they use this note over that chord and all of that good stuff. And then now that goes into my music production as well. And that is for me a music producer, always learning, focused, focused on development, practices, interested in developing their own style, all of that good stuff. Cool. All right, so I'll just check the feeds. Cool. All right, cool. So with that said, let me put my bass back on and get into the track. So this track that I've got going on today is at 98 BPM. It's in E major, and it's following a 1-4-5 chord progression, as you can see here. And what that means is the chords as they go by, and I'll just zoom in. So you can see here 1, 4, 5 with a 3, like a small passing chord. And what that means is, so 1, 4, 5, which it means I'm going from the 1, which is an E major, to the 4, which is A major, and then to the 5, which is B major. So it's a major sounding progression. So not so sad like a minor. So if I was just to so I'll play a C. So this would be a C major, right? And this is a minor. This note here, this third, changes the characteristics. So this is major, and this is minor, a little bit, not too sure about that. Cool. So, and then the passing chord is a G sharp minor, but I mean, I'll play the track. It's not in it for very long, not very long at all. So I'll play a couple of loops of this. So it's an 8-bar pattern. I'll just play 2 of them. Forgot to pour myself a drink. So that is what I'll be working with today, and it's just looped over and over, as you can see by the colors at the top of the screen. So 1, 1, 1. It's all the way down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this and then allow a bass line to inspire me. And once I've done that, I will then hit record and then record the bass line, which you'll be able to buy once you see me upload it to the website. And once this is recorded, it will be 48 hours before I then go back through this, or within 48 hours, let's say. I will go back through this recording and I will adjust anything that I think got away from me, or that I think should be better, and then I'll upload that to the site as well. And then I'll also upload an unprocessed version. So let me just summarize it properly. So I'll record this bass line, and then as you hear me record it, I will upload it to my website and it will be processed. So you'll have all of these are called plugins if you're not familiar with them, and they change the sound in various ways. So I'll add all of these within the signal, and you'll get that. And then within 48 hours, I will go back through the recording, and then I'll make any adjustments that I feel are necessary. Then I'll also export that. I'll export that and then upload it to the site again with the processing. Then I will do another export without the processing, just in case, you know, you don't like the way I've processed it, or it doesn't match your track. So in total, you'll have 3 loops, 3 versions of the loop. So processed, edited, unprocessed, processed, edited, processed, unedited, and unprocessed, edited. Cool. All right, so let's play this track. Oh, and just lastly, I said at the top that this bass loop will be over 250 bars long. If you're familiar with loop-based production, then you'll know that the typical bar length is at 4, 8, or 16. I provide 250 because I feel variation is king. We want, as music producers, we want options. So I feel 250 bars should provide you with enough options. And at some point during the recording as well, I will go from, so let's say I'm playing something like dun, 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 dun. I'll go to, because the first idea might suit a chorus or a verse, and the second idea might suit a chorus or a verse. So you'll be able to, let's say the first one was like a verse. You'll put that in your verse section, second part in your chorus section, and then each of those will have different variations that you can chop and edit and keep your track dynamic, keep your track moving and interesting for the listener. Cool. All right, so let's get into this. What I wanted to do this time was I wanted to stay on the 1 and here, like just mess around with the notes and see which ones sound interesting. So this at the moment it'll be the root, right? So the 1. So if I call out, like if I say the 1, the 4, the 7, you can just look here and see what I'm referring to. So the 1 is the E, 2 is the F sharp, and so on. So it's the 1. To continue that, see. In fact, let me so yeah, sometimes I'll record the idea, like just in case, because I like to talk about what I'm doing and I might have a really good idea, and then I'll get into a topic that I want to talk about, and then yeah, the bass line will go. So let's just record. Will it work here? So it doesn't work there. Nearly half recorded there, so I'm gonna keep that. Because yeah, it's all right. All right, cool. So I'll just save. Have a quick sip. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna get going with that. Hope you enjoy. One second. Make sure I have good posture. Cool. 6, 7, 1. When I started that time, it felt like it wasn't in the key, but it is. Cool. Because I finished on the so and then I held on that last one, but I think I want to keep the maybe I'll experiment. Like this is the this is the like the consistent aspect of the bass. It's super tricky when I have the screen as I did. So when I have it friendly so that you can see what's happening, I just fresh my mouth. So I'll look up and I'll just see, I'll see this, and it's like, I've got plenty of time. I can just continue to play like the lower notes. I don't need to come down and do these notes yet. And then I felt it was time, like, okay, yeah, so I'm gonna come down and start playing with these notes. And then, so you probably heard, so I've got in the track, so around here the beat will change slightly just to let me know in my ear it's coming to an end now. And around that time I was just beginning to address the like all of these notes. I got some in there, so it is it's balanced, I think, in that way. So you'll have plenty of options in the lower notes, and then the lower notes turn to more sustained, like so it was just like da, 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 and then I would cut the note, but then later on da, 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 let the note ring out, da, da, da. I thought it was pretty cool, man. I like that I didn't start on the 1. Yeah. Yeah, and if you're listening on a phone, the bass might sound a bit quiet, or if you're on, not necessarily if you're on headphones, or maybe if your headphones don't have much of a bass response, then the bass might sound a bit low in the mix. However, if you listen on speakers, it will surround you. It will surround you. It has real depth. The way I mixed it was, so the piano and the drums. The piano has plenty of mid to high, so like mid to high frequency information, and some low mids, but not so much. They have been controlled, and then in that area, like low mids to lows is the bass. So in the frequency spectrum, they're quite separate, so it allows me to have good volume on the piano and good depth with the bass. So I do recommend, if you can, like when you're producing anyway, so when you download this loop, let me just save it, when you download this loop, you'll be producing on something, I think, that will be able to clearly communicate to you that yes, this has a substantial amount of low frequency information. So it'll also inform your decisions when you're adding other instruments. So because this bass line is so well rounded in the bottom, you don't need something else as bassy. And if you do like the sound of an instrument that is bassy, then remove a lot of the bass, and also, let's turn off my bass, and also manage them. So let's say the level of my bass is up here, and the level of this instrument that you've got, like a synth or something, is up here as well. So you might want to just bring the synth down, and what you might notice is it doesn't feel like the track is losing bass, because the bass guitar, this loop, is doing that entire job. So then nothing else has to do that job. So you can add an instrument that sounds like a synth. You can add a synth that sounds bassy, remove some of the bass, but when you add them together, it still sounds like the synth has a sufficient amount of bass. It doesn't feel tinny or shallow. It's still doing the job providing the feeling, providing the emotion. Cool. So I will take this off and bounce this track out now. So let's solo. So as I said, with all of the processing, this will be exported. So I'm just going to zoom in here. Let's turn up a bit. Cool. So I'm going to bounce that now. So as you see, so it'll have all of this. So I'll just show you the rest of the processing. So it's got this EQ, this EQ, this EQ, and this just to add character. And then on buses, and if you don't know what buses are, then let me know in the comments. In fact, have there been any comments? Thanks, Danal. Yeah, let me know if that's how your name is pronounced. I'll make sure I'm doing that proper justice. It's a name I've not seen, but yeah, thanks for joining, man. Thanks for liking the feed as the live as well, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, so I've got buses as well, and buses are a way to. So if you're not familiar with buses, let me just quickly show you. So you hear that? That's my bass. With it's delayed. This is the delay, and you heard that it's very, very subtle. And then I'm just adding. I just really like this. It's making it a bit crunchy, and then that's making it wider, and then that's compressing it so that it doesn't jump out. It's a controlled, consistent level. And then this as well on another bus is just boosting the top end of the bass so that it cuts through the mix cleanly. So this, what I'm going to bounce first, or what I'm going to export first, is going to have all of that on it. So let me do that. Cool. Going to do it exactly the same. So yeah, so this is going to be processed and capitals but unedited. I need capitals. P-R-O. So this is all of the information. So Crane Bass Loops Live episode 19, 98 BPM. And this will be processed and unedited. And so if you scan the QR code now, it will take you to this page. And yeah, it'll take you to this page. Well, not this page. This is the behind the scenes. This is exclusive content. This is the behind the scenes. So it will take you to this product. And what you'll get so far is the MIDI. So this, I can't play it, but the piano that you heard, that MIDI data is included in the bundle. So you'll be able to drag and drop that MIDI information into your session, add a piano, a synth, some other instrument that will play chords, and then you'll be able to, start basically from here. You'll have this same chord progression. And then what you can do, so you'll drag that in, add a piano just to get started, and then you'll drag the bass loop in on top, making sure they line up, and then you'll have this, like more or less, straight away. You'll be able to get going straight away. Start adding instruments and stuff. And I do, like I said at the top, when I was saying about the AI and it having you go from silence to sound. And I was saying about chords that I don't like to use other artists' chords. I really recommend that you take the chords and the bass line and maybe strip out the chords to their bare minimum, and it would be each chord would be different. But So let's say, for example, the first chord will be the 1, the 3 and the 5, right? So the E major will be E, G sharp and B. So it's usually the bottom 3 notes in the chord are the root chord. Or what you could do is you could Google, so you're gonna have A major. So you'll say what's the A major triad, and it will give you the first 3 notes. I'd recommend using those first 3 notes with the bass line and just trying to understand how that sounds, how that feels, and then notes that I've added. How does that feel? Like what is that doing? The main goal with this really is understanding. It's learning and getting better and understanding why. That's what I feel can be lost with the AI approach, the why. Like, you start with the AI, and then you get to verse 2 and then the chorus, but then you'll have to rely on it because you don't understand how you got to where you are. Like, it will give you like a really complex and advanced idea, but you can't work with that because you don't understand. With this, I feel I'm offering the understanding. Like, you also get a PDF with this, so within the 48 hours I'll add a PDF, and on that PDF you get some insights into like what I was thinking, the approach. You'll get some screenshots of the plugins, and you'll also get the notes. See, you won't need to Google the notes because I'll be providing them for you. So you'll see the notes, and you could choose the 3 fundamental notes and really try to understand and feel, and reach out to me if there are any questions, because the idea is to understand and then make better musical decisions upon from that understanding. And by better, I mean more personal, more intentional. Like, I want to make this feeling in my music, and so I use these notes stacked together with a bit of Wesley's bass line, and then that makes me that allows the music to feel as I want it to feel. That's the goal. So let me just upload that bass line. For me, music is, it's all about feeling and intentionality. Like, I want to intentionally play that note and, have my heart sing into the music, and then have other people enjoy it, right? I can't thank Daniel. Alright, cool. So that's uploaded. So I'm going to save it. So that's live now, man. Let me just view it. So if you scan the QR code, this is what you'll see. And then you can add it to the cart, go buy some more, or just simply buy now. But yeah, as I said, within 48 hours, I will upload another 2 versions. So the next 2 that I'll add will be processed and edited, and unprocessed and edited. Cool. That is it from this episode. Thank you for joining me. Thanks to everyone who stopped by. Thank you, Daniel, for commenting and liking the video. Much appreciated. Yeah, okay, cool. Until next time, make great music and enjoy life. And I'll just press play and wait for the latency to catch up. Then I'll end the stream.